So it is almost 5:30 p.m. and we do have quite a few warnings out there to go over, but I think this is what it's going to be like covering these storms for the next few days. It's going to be talking about some areas and not others. So I think for the interim, I'm talking about Kansas City and the Northland. So it doesn't pertain to you. Congratulations, but friends and neighbors, relatives up in the Northland certainly might want to share and know about this. I think we could be possibly talking about south of Kansas City later this evening, but I wanted to hop on here one more time to talk about what is going on in Kansas City and north and say that it might be a stormy night for you all up in Kansas City. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening up there right now. You can see that the radar is lit up. We do have several severe thunderstorm warnings, the most recent of which is over here at Mound City, headed up towards Maitland, towards Skidmore. So you guys are severe warned for the next 36 minutes. But our larger area continues, and I guess we'll pick up over here very, very northern Missouri. You guys are also severe thunderstorm warned for the next 21 minutes, up to 3/4 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's been stout for you all up in northern, particularly northwest Missouri, but predominantly talking about north of Kansas City right now, where severe thunderstorm warning for bigger than 3/4 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds have been clocked already. So for the next 1 hour, this will expire at just before 6:30 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning is now picking up Kansas City all the way out to Gladstone, Liberty, just missing Excelsior Springs, although I think it will probably be extended if current trends continue. It's going to go out and catch Kearney, almost to Lawson, up to Lathrop. Look how big this thing is. Turney, Cameron, all the way up to Weatherby, almost to Winston. So, I mean, that's a huge warned area. But this has at times, this group of thunderstorms here, although clustered, has at times flirted with a linear structure. And when that has happened, we have seen some very significant wind gusts. Those have hung to the south and to the west right now. I'm seeing strongest winds, just went over Victory Hills, Coronado, Muncie, and they're just about to Kansas City proper. Looks like wind gusts are picking up around Argentine right now. But winds are going to pick up very strong as this does move through. But I do see it just now, stretching into the western Kansas City, Quindaro Bluffs area. Parkville has a strong thunderstorm right now. This is moving along over the National Golf Club. Here is 45 Highway as this starts to come into Gladstone. So this is going to track off to the north and the east, but it's going to bring some 40 to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and possibly some 3/4 inch hail. Let's take a look out of curiosity and see what we have for hail right now. Again, down here toward the southwest. So this is right over the turnpike. This is Sunflower Hills Golf Course right here. Speedway Boulevard just up to the north, and Kansas Turnpike as it hits 435 over here, looking like you guys are going to pick up some significant hail. This could be it's about half-inch hail right now, but it could, again, we've been cautioned for up to that 3/4 inch size hail. So just be aware of that. That's what's moving through Kansas City right now. Severe warnings. Let's go ahead and look at what we have for warnings and statements right now. This is clear down here in very, very southern Kansas, down here south of Wichita. I do have a special weather statement down here. I'm seeing the Kaw Wildlife Area, Silverdale, headed up toward Cameron, and this is telling us about 1/4 inch hail size, and this has some wind gusts too. They're not quite what we're seeing in North Kansas City, possibly up to 40 miles per hour or so around the region. So let's go back up here west of St. Joseph. I do still see, there we go, over Kickapoo Tribe. Looks like you're just finishing up in Horton. It was very strong over the little town of Horton just a few minutes ago. This is going to head off toward 150th Street. You guys have a special weather statement that's just about to drop off. I don't think there's a whole lot left in that particular cell. So here we are again. See what I mean? Flirting with kind of a linear organization starting to go on here. It's far from that technically. It's much too jagged for that, but it's going to make those winds pick up. We can go ahead and take a look at that. And I do see strong winds right now. You don't need me to tell you this if you are in Smithville, hitting now Smithville Lake, Trimble, looking like up and down 169 highway for sure. Definitely seeing, what do we have here? We have possibly, get the right tool here, possibly 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, approaching 50 mile per hour wind gusts out here south and west of Plattsburgh. Take some graphics off there and can see what we have cropping up next. So look at all these warnings. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now out here. Looks like this one did regenerate on this cell that's now headed off towards the little town of Maitland. So Maitland, south and west of you, is a particularly strong thunderstorm, and we'll check hail there. I know that you have winds. Do you have hail? Yes, you do have some significant hail. It's not a huge hail core, but right now I think it's just off to the north of Mound City. Looking like N Highway, 59 Highway there, just moving across I-29 there in Mound City, headed off towards Maitland. So that is a new warning for the next 31 minutes. They're talking about up to 3/4 inch hail in that warned area. So quite an outbreak that we are having, again, predominantly affecting the Northland. Not sure if I did this one. Is this new? This goes for the next 31 minutes. A special weather statement telling us about, yeah, this is 2 minutes ago, for maximum wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour. So this is going to be just to the east of Lawrence. So this is going to pick up Noria along 1500 Road. Here's Eudora, and it does pick up Weaver as well for some strong wind gusts, probably some smaller hail in that as well. So heads up over here towards the Astra Enterprise Park. Kansas University land pops up. Here is K10 Highway, Clearview City. And north of K10 here is the Oak Country Golf Club. Heads up to all of you in this area for some very heavy downpours. And let's see what we have for winds. Strong winds right now over that Astra Enterprise Park. Again, headed off to the north and the east. So heads up to all of you folks. North Kansas City, Northland is about to pick up some strong wind gusts. I see them strongest up here along Northwest Berry Road, headed over into Gashland along 152 and 435, headed over towards Liberty. So quite a system moving through. Once it moves through, I would like to say you're done. You're clear for a little while. In Kansas City, you are clear for a little while. Here is what I have. Went over this just a few minutes ago on a live stream, so this is not particularly new, but I do think you'd have another round finding you. This is now 11 p.m. model data that I'm showing you in Kansas City. So 11 p.m. to midnight, you do have a cluster of possibly strong thunderstorms moving through. These are going to go northwest to southeast, however. Gonna drop off towards west central Missouri, and then we all wake up tomorrow morning. Here is what we see bubbling up in east central Kansas and west central Missouri. These towns down around Chanute, Neodesha, over towards Eldo. I think we have some mid-morning thunderstorms, and these are going to persist over into the afternoon. So predominantly wanted to let you know, Kansas City, here we are again tomorrow evening. This is about 3-4 p.m. that I see thunderstorms popping up. Looks like these may just stay south of Kansas City. So we might tomorrow, about this exact time, be talking about Olathe and Belton and Lee Summit. So there's a little future look for you. Let's go back out and take another look at radars. This is finally starting to push its way through Kansas City and the Northland. So I don't think we didn't hear any sounds telling me that we do have any new warnings. We'll go through warnings. There is Mound City off towards Maitland. Here is up in very northern Missouri, picking up north of Maryville to Hopkins for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. All of these are working our way south. I do see another one, Maysville, McFall, headed up towards Bethany. That one has another 28 minutes left on it for all of you up that direction. And then here we do have a new one. No surprise here. This is now picking up on the Kansas side. We're talking about Gardner, Prairie Highlands, Olathe, going all the way over to state line. So that's going to be Stanley, Kenneth. It's going to get Martin City, which is in Missouri, but we're going to pick up Leawood, Prairie Village, Roland Park, and Mission in this new severe thunderstorm warning for up to 3/4 inch hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That's the theme of the day, right? So that is all resultant to this cell here, which has been strong over Eudora right now. It was special weather statement warned a few minutes ago. Let's check out what's going on with that. I see very strong winds. That is why the warning has come about. Wow, switch over to velocity and I stand corrected. We have strong wind gusts. How strong might they be? At least 50 miles per hour. I see some possible 60 mile per hour wind gusts, not quite, 58. Wow, and where is this exactly? This is south of 127th Street Here is Waverly Road. And here is moving over. This is South Gardner Road. So if you are in any of these areas, you have 50, almost 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Here's West 135th Street for strong, strong winds. These are going to head off to the north and the east. So heads up along Gardner Road and North Moonlight Road for some very, very strong wind gusts there. So that is our new severe thunderstorm warning area. This is going to possibly, let's look at storm motion, see if we can see where this might be headed. Keep in mind, general north and east. So these have kind of bloomed up in the next few minutes, but I'm going to say that we're going to be talking about Olathe headed over towards Lackman. So I'm looking at areas like K10, the K10 intersection at 435 south of Lenexa, and headed over into Overland Park for those strong wind gusts and some very heavy downpours. I'm not seeing anything right now that's making me want to check for too much hail. I think there will be some small hail, very, very small hail right now along Waverly Road, just about to hit you guys at the Shadow Glen Golf Club there. But I think wind unquestionably being the reason for the issuance of this new warning right here. So what could happen to the south, even though nothing is warned right now? Take a look at south of Ottawa here. I'm over here along the I-35 corridor right now, and I do have some strong little cells, robust little thunderstorms out here north of Waverly along Old 50 Highway and off towards Williamsburg, up towards Homewood, again along that 35 corridor. So would not be surprised at all. Already starting to see some smaller cells pick up down here to the southeast of, southwest of Burlington, rather. So all of this area circled in the red here. We had a mesoscale discussion crop out this afternoon talking about we probably will not see a watch. I think it was about a 20% issuance of a watch, but we could have some wet downbursts, which are some strong wind gusts with heavy downpours being the predominant threat in this mesoscale discussion, which is this red circled area here for the rest of the afternoon into this evening. So let's go back up to the Northland up here. Geez, how far north do you want to go? We can go up here to Bethany along I-35. So if you're up and down I-35 from Bethany, headed down here towards Pattonsburg, Old Pattonsburg, just know off to your west are some strong thunderstorms, and you're going to see some very strong wind gusts here in just a few minutes, but they will pass over you relatively quickly. So we'll go back down here towards Cameron and Hamilton. You guys are next up. Pretty confident that this warning here, which has another 39 minutes left on it, severe thunderstorm warning, probably going to be kicked out to include your area as well. So heads up to you in Hamilton, Breckenridge, off towards Chillicothe. You have quite a bit of time. Next up probably is Mirabel, Kingston, Polo, Cowgill. Prepare again. Just know strong wind gusts and heavy downpours associated in this line. It is a line. It's not a traditional line, but it is a line of clustered thunderstorms. How about that? Currently moving over the Smithville Lake Recreation area. Looking like it's just about to clear out there. I think the heaviest activity right now I see is directly over Plattsburgh and just about to hit the Ronald and Maud Hartle Conservation Area. In fact, it's there right now, headed off towards Turney. So again, quite an impressive cluster of thunderstorms moving through up there. You will definitely know when they are there. We're going to keep an eye down here off to the south for sure. Kansas City proper, I mean, it's just clipping you on the northern edge so far. I do think Overland Park, you do have these stronger cells moving through, and the predominant issue there continues to be wind, is why you are severe thunderstorm warned. I can see that possibly getting kicked out over onto the Missouri side as well. When that happens, I would look at Holmes Park, Raytown. You guys might want to batten down the hatches for let's say the next hour, headed off toward, here's Arrowhead Stadium, for example. Here's 470. Yeah, I mean, all these areas could see some very strong wind gusts, I'm going to say, within the next hour for sure. Here is what is off to your south and to your west. So as we go along further south, like I say, wouldn't be too surprised As you can see, has this just been extended out? Yeah, this has inched over now, just to the east of Lawson, picking up Barnesville. So probably going to continue that way and inch out here towards Kingston and Polo as well. Not seeing the wind profile that I thought I might, up and down the entire line, but it's going to be definitely some isolated showers or isolated wind gusts for sure. The severity will be kind of hit and miss with this. So I am curious. I do see some more activity picking up down here south of the 35 corridor over in Kansas. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a warning or two coming out of that in the next hour or so. So 5:38 p.m. We will eventually get a break for this tonight before that cluster of showers and thunderstorms does hit Kansas City. So that is your 5:38 p.m. Situation. Just wanted to go over those for anybody with Northland concerns. I appreciate, as always, you being with me. I will keep an eye on things throughout the evening. Keep an eye on the page here for any posts for warnings. If there's enough of them, if there's just too many of them, I will get on here and we'll talk about it later. See ya. Bye.